So we've got one person on the call who is on the phone, and I would just like to invite that person to unmute themselves and introduce yourself, and then pretty much what we're going to be doing for this call is just going over what's happening with Earth Guardians in 2017, what we're all planning, what you guys are looking forward to in your own lives with your crews, if you're not in a crew, just generally for 2017, what you are looking to do. And we just got another person on the call, which is great. So we're just going to start with introductions, and it's going to be your name, how old you are, where you're calling from, and 2 words that describe how you're feeling right now. So I'll go first. My name's Aiden. I am 22 years old. I am the global crew director with Earth Guardians. I live in Boulder, Colorado. And 2 words that describe how I'm feeling right now are, not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. Mornings definitely are not my time. And but I'm excited, and yeah, so tired but excited. Who'd like to go next?
I guess I can go. I'm Callan. I'm 12. Actually, I'm almost 13, but I'm 12 right now. I live in Annapolis, Maryland, and 2 words that would describe me my feelings right now would be happy and excited.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Great, thank you. Oh, one thing before we continue with the intros, just mute yourself when you're not talking, just so we don't get any feedback noise. If you scroll down to the bottom of your screen, if you're on the computer, there is a little mute button, and you just click on it. It's a little microphone that says mute. And that way we just can all hear each other well. Awesome. So we have BC Cook and a number 845701. Who would like to introduce themselves next? Okay, well, I'll call on someone because there's only
There it is.
Oh,
I was
great.
muted.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hello.
So my name is Brian. Is it just us 3 at the moment?
Yes, and then we have a caller. I was saying to Callan earlier that it's actually kind of nice to have less people on the call, because that means that instead of it being more webinar style where I'm doing most of the talking because there's too many people, we can actually have like a dialogue and conversation now.
Okay. Great. Well, I'll be in and out, and I may have to leave, but I've been following this group or the website for a couple of years now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly because I'm curious about how the youth is going to go forward. I consider myself youthful, even though I'm not that young, but my goals and attitude seems to align with what you guys are up to. So that's why I'm paying attention. Personally, I'm involved in an initiative through my industry. I'm in the jewelry industry, mining. I'm involved in mining gemstones in Brazil. So I'm launching an initiative right now through the industry, which is related to what we call responsible sourcing of natural capital. Now, natural capital can be natural ingredients, it can be stones, it can be wool, etc. So responsible source is kind of connected with fair trade, for example. The movements in fair trade where you bring more economic benefits to the source, people to the source. And in my industry, jewelry, it's kind of a just beginning, even though there's been some pioneers for about the last 15 years, which I've been involved in. So quickly, anyway, my project is I'm involved in a mining community that's mining quartz, a very remote part of Brazil. And what we're trying to do is bring more economic benefit to them at the source by helping them work the material, process it at the source, give more jobs to the locals, especially women. That's a priority. And the main part of my initiative is parallel to mining. I'm launching a sort of a campaign to invest in organic farming, permaculture, at the same time that you're mining, because mining is not sustainable. Minerals, stones, whatever, run out. So the communities that depend on it, we want to invest in growing food, which is sustainable, ties into food security, etc. So so if we can do that at one small place and create a model out of it, we can replicate it, anywhere where communities are mining in remote places. So that's kind of what I'm doing personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really interesting. It's good that you're investing in solutions, because it's so different. It's interesting to hear the difference between that mindset of, okay, we're in this business that's clearly unsustainable, let's try to transition and help these communities transition, whereas the oil and gas industry and other industries like that are just steamrolling straight ahead, not even trying to transition the communities that are dependent on their dying industry. So I definitely appreciate that, and thanks for sharing. So let's have the phone caller go. We only have one phone person.
Yeah, it's Iris.
And I knew it was Iris. It's Iris. What's up, Iris?
Hey. And I am, today I get to say I'm 17. I turned 17 yesterday. And you said 2 words that describe how I'm feeling right now. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm feeling excited and rejuvenated. And yeah, so I'm Iris Van Gillingham. I'm from New York, and I'm a member of the RYSE Youth Council, and I also lead a crew at my community college.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Iris is awesome. We are pretty good friends. I used to live in New York, and we worked together a lot with RYSE, which is one of Earth Guardian's programs. If you don't know, it's Rising Youth for a Sustainable Earth. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about that program once Michaela joins. I just resent her the link, so hopefully she'll be with us momentarily. But yeah, so we have a lot of excitement on the call, and yeah, that's good. That's great, because we're heading into 2017, or we're already here. And
oh boy.
Yeah. And now we have to figure out what we're going to do, and all that sort of thing. But luckily, there's already some awesome movements happening. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the Standing Rock struggle. I'm just going to do some quick movement updates right now. So as we know, like a month and a half ago or so, President Obama said that, or he denied the easement to allow the pipeline to go across the lake there. But the company didn't really follow that, and they kept working anyway. So all this time, they've still been working, and but the people at the camp are still there. While the camp's gotten slightly smaller since the easement was denied, they're still moving along and staying at the camp, keeping up the pressure. And actually, I don't think it was last night, but the night before, or this week sometime, there was another standoff at the camp there, right on the bridge, where the police officers shot rubber bullets, tear gas, mace, all of that, all the same things they've been using. I'm not sure if they used the water cannon or anything like that.
I think they did.
Yeah, so what was amazing about this time is that the water protectors stood strong and stood with so much love and so much prayer that the police got tired, and they ended up leaving before the water protectors, and nobody was critically injured like they were that first time something similar happened. So this is really good. This is kind of like a turning point, I think, for the movement. And now we're starting to see similar things to Standing Rock pop up all over the country, all over the world. I think that Standing Rock has definitely redefined direct action, especially what it means to truly stand up for something sacred, something that we all need, like water, earth, healthy land to grow our food in, all of that. It's kind of redefined this activism that was kind of getting tired, and I felt like it wasn't really getting stuff done. But now there's this new activism, this new way of taking a stand for what you believe in, and Standing Rock is still there. They're still working, and similar things are happening in New York and Texas, all over the country.
Well, the issues are becoming more critical as we go forward.
Exactly.
And the what's happened at Standing Rock is really historical. And what's really interesting is that it's not even economically viable. It's like the people that are building the pipeline, they're just desperate to get their money out of it. But the people that are going to be pumping the oil, they probably even they're probably happy to step out of it, because it's it doesn't make economic sense even. So it's a huge, but the point is that the small group that's still there is insisting, and so, I mean, it's pretty amazing, because the conditions up there are so, cold. It's not easy. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, they were out there.
They don't do anything at all. People, the Indians are insisting, or the people who want to do it?
Yeah, the water protectors are insisting, and the people that want to build the pipeline are still insisting. But anyway, one thing I would say to y'all, since you're all young, the one thing we can't go down to is allow, don't let fear take over. Don't go down don't get swept up into the, it's going to get crazy, especially this year. But stay focused, keep your eye on the ball, keep your head down. It's tough when you're an activist, but to stay out of, somehow stay out of the grips of the police. That's it. And what you're doing at Standing Rock is really amazing. Just holding back and being, peaceful. It's really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I personally haven't been able to be there at Standing Rock yet, but many of our group have gone to support. We helped, one of our team members helped get climbing poetry there to do a workshop, and that was really amazing, inspiring. And we had one of our RYSE Youth Council members go with them. Her name is Mercy, and she helped lead some stuff. So yeah, we're not like directly.
And Journey was there.
Yeah, and Journey was there as well. We're not directly involved with Standing Rock, but we support them, and we support anyone who's taking such brave steps to protect something that belongs to all of us.
Guardians, and I just wanted to check in and see what they're doing.
So if you could just mute yourself when you're not
Oh, I'm sorry.
to the group. That's okay. I just
okay, I've never done this before, so
okay. The mute button is right at the bottom.
I see it.
Cool. So Michaela is having trouble joining the call. She's just going to come to the office in like 10 to 15 minutes, and then she'll join then. So that's one thing. It's like good. It's like kind of neutral because they're still building the pipeline. They're still standing off with the water protectors. The police are still standing off, but it's obvious that they're getting tired, and they're questioning why they're doing this. And so another update that we have is, well, as we all know, Trump is going to be inaugurated at the beginning of this week or this upcoming week, and that's really crazy, and so many people are just not having it. I mean, it's bad for social justice, it's bad for environmental justice, it's bad for pretty much most people who are white males. There is a lot of mobilization that's happening around the inauguration, and on the 23rd there's going to be massive school walkouts and other student led actions on campuses, calling for all of the schools that people go to divest from fossil fuels and reinvest in renewable energy. So the student divestment campaign has been happening for many years, but it's really starting to take off, and especially around Trump's inauguration and his climate denial. The whole theme of this is to say no to climate denial, not allow someone to reject and dismiss science-based findings that so clearly are saying that that climate change is real, it's man-made, and it's happening. So that's what that campaign is doing, and I think that's gonna stem out into further action throughout the year. But it's a really exciting campaign because it's students taking a stand and pretty much saying, we pay to go to school, we pay for our education, and we don't want our money to fund the fossil fuel industry, especially in an administration of Trump, when it's likely that climate denial will be the overarching narrative there. So it's obviously coming up really quickly. If you're in school, it might be kind of hard to organize at this point, but hard to organize a walkout. But then again, maybe not. There's high schoolers here in Boulder who are organizing different actions. Some are doing solidarity actions, some are doing walkouts, and the walkouts in Boulder, I think this is probably applicable to most high schools, are more directed at the school district being invested in a bank that is funding the fossil fuel industry, specifically the Dakota Access Pipeline. So they'll be urging the school district to divest from that bank and then reinvest in a bank that's not funding fossil fuels. So it's possible to do something similar, although again, it is short notice, but you can also do like solidarity. I can post the link to the website in the chat in 1 second once I pull it up here. Does anyone want to mention anything that they know that's happening, any movement updates, just kind of quick, like 2 minutes, anything you want to share about something that you've heard about recently. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, well, tomorrow, actually, this is ours. Tomorrow we're having a rally in New York City that is basically about like actions during the first 100 days of his presidency, and saying that like we can't give up. We have to use those first 100 days to really show that we want him to make conscious decisions, and we want what we want the country to look like. So there's a rally going on near Central Park tomorrow at 6 p.m. With Mark Ruffalo, Michael Moore, and a bunch of really great activists and leaders, speakers. So yeah, that's one thing that we're doing around here.
That's awesome, Iris. Really amazing. And that's happening where in New York City?
Yeah, it's happening in New York City at 6 p.m. I can forward you the thing. I'm hoping to go to it, and yeah, it's just basically it's basically saying we are going to take action in the first 100 days, and talking about different ways that can happen. So.
I've been muted this whole time and I've been talking. Like, sorry guys, I forgot I muted myself. Anyway, so what I was saying is, well, first, awesome, Iris, that's great. And second, I saw this video that had a very interesting perspective about the Trump presidency and about his election and all that. And the perspective was that when you get sick, you have symptoms, and the symptoms are your body telling you that you need to pay attention to your body, right? So Trump's election to be president is a symptom of our country being sick. And our country has been sick for a long time in its culture. And if we hadn't been sick, if we aren't sick, then there wouldn't have been the symptoms and the buildup to allow someone like Trump to be president. So because he's become president, we've had to wake up. Which if we were comfortable, people don't take action when they're comfortable. It's that slight discomfort and that slight uncertainty that causes people to go to the streets, to go to the courts, to take action in all the different ways that we do. So not that I'm saying that I like that Trump's president or anything like that, but I just thought that was a really interesting perspective, because now we have more people ready to mobilize than we did before. If Hillary had become president, I'm not sure that the same amount of mobilization would have taken place. But I mean, this is just a perspective that I'm offering, because now we obviously have no choice other than to take action and to stand by our values and stand by the things that we know to be true, like the fact that climate change is real, and the fact that we can't alienate each other just because we look different. We have to work together and communicate to,
this is not a day.
to work together. That's the only way we're going to address these issues that we face, is if we all unite, cross movements, intergenerational, intersectional, all that. We need to come together and we need to work together because these issues affect us all. So I thought that was interesting.
So that leads me to a quick question. What you say intergenerational, and how many countries are you hooked up with right now, and how many people are with your group? Because I'm very curious.
So we have thousands of people all over the world. I actually don't have the exact number of countries in my head, but we have hundreds of crews. That's groups that start in their communities to take action. They create small groups, large groups, whatever size groups, family groups, school groups, and they mobilize in their communities. And so RYSE is a part of a crew in New York. We've got crews all over the United States, Canada, South America, specifically Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, Puerto Rico. In Africa, we have Togo, Uganda, Namibia, South Africa, specifically Johannesburg.
So I can contact these groups through the website or something? Because I'm working in Brazil, as I said.
So right now, I'm actually working on website updates to include pages about each crew. Right now on our crew page, their logos are on there, and most of them are linked to their Facebook page, so you can get in touch with them through there. But in a couple weeks, every crew should have their own page. When you click on their logo, it'll take you to their page with all their contact info. But the Brazil page is active. The crew leader is Levy. They focus mostly on music in Brazil. But then we've got like Malaysia, we have all over New Zealand, all over Australia,
good.
the Philippines. We definitely have some incredible global reach, definitely all over Europe. And it's growing every day. That's part of the reason we started to do these crew calls, is to try and offer, oh my gosh, and Mensa has joined us. Mensa, it's so perfect, your timing, because we were just talking about the global reach of Earth Guardians and how we have crews all over the world. And Mensa is our crew leader in Africa. He is the regional director, but he also leads the Togo crew there. And they're one of the most active crews. So we were just...
What country is Mensa? Where are you? In Africa? He's probably on mute still. No?
No.
Audio. Yeah, I had to find the audio when I joined.
Not muted, but Mensa, can you hear us all right? He might have some trouble hearing us. I'll type in the chat. But he's in Togo right now, I believe.
Togo.
That's on the western side of Africa, I believe. Cool. So I typed in the chat. We'll see if he can hear us. Super excited that he joined, because that takes us into our next part. Oh, he can't hear us. Okay, let me see.
Where is... When I first started, it took me a while to find the audio. You had to click on audio somewhere.
Yeah, maybe at the bottom. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes with these calls, there's technical difficulties, and because I facilitate them, I also have to sort out the technical difficulties. So sometimes it kind of takes a little bit of time, and I get distracted. I need an assistant, but I don't have one because we're a small organization. So.
You know, the resistance is going to grow strong just for the reason you said. Because of our new administration coming in, everything is being pushed to the extreme, and the resistance has to grow. Now we're in a bad situation because even if Trump, let's say, totally screws up and he is ousted, then we're stuck with Pence, which is.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. It's not looking good.
Yeah. So now that Mensa has his, he can hear us and he has his audio, I'd love to invite you, Mensa, to introduce yourself, say how old you are, where you're calling from, what you're feeling right now. We did a 1 to 2 word description of how we are feeling. Like I said, I was tired but excited. And then I'd also love for you to share a little bit about what you're working on with your crew in Africa. And if you would like, you can also share about a little about your experience at COP22 this year. Yeah, so all you have to do is unmute yourself. And Michaela just came too. So go ahead, Mensa. I unmuted you, Mensa. I have the power to do that.
Okay. Okay. My name is Mensa Cheje from Togo. I'm 26 years old. I hold a bachelor in biology. I'm the Earth Guardian Director for Africa. So this year I represent my country as party delegate at COP22 in Marrakech. And here in Togo, we are doing a lot of activities on behalf of Earth Guardian. Thank you.
Thanks, Mensa. This is Michaela, everyone.
Hello. Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, so I muted myself like right as I started talking. I'm a little tired, obviously. So yeah, thanks, Mensa, for joining. I'm really excited that you're able to join this call because I know you tried to join the calls before when we were using a different platform and it just never worked. So this is exciting. This means Zoom is good. So that's perfect. This takes us into our next topic, which is what Earth Guardians is planning for 2017. And it's so awesome that Michaela just walked right in because it was perfect timing, and Mensa joined too. Perfect timing. So yeah, so I wanted to start a little bit with our project, Protect Our Future, which is one of our main campaigns that kind of connects all the crews together. It allows us to all focus on issues within our communities affecting our earth, water, air, and climate. But so we're all looking at these same issues, but then looking at it from a local perspective. What's affecting us the most in our community right now? Water is going to be different in every area. So you know, what Mensa will do to focus on water will be different than what we would do here in Boulder to focus on water. But we're still both looking at water and focusing on that as an overarching theme for a certain season. So that's the Protect Our Future campaign. And right now we're working on climate. This campaign is slow to develop at the moment because we're a limited staff, and really we need to bring on a full-time person or a part-time person to focus specifically on this campaign. But at the moment, I'm working on it, and Michaela is kind of helping, and some of the other team members are too. And I'm just saying that because that's why we haven't put out a flyer yet about this specific campaign, but it'll be coming soon. So right now we're looking at climate, and that can take so many different forms depending on where you are. Some things I wanted to mention, though, that we have concrete dates for is in Georgia, a state in the United States, they just passed the Plastic Pollution Awareness Day for February 15th. And I've been talking to this awesome youth leader, Hannah, who's 14. She was the one who initiated this day of awareness. And I asked her if we could have solidarity action to support Georgia and then also raise awareness globally. So on February 15th, we're going to have a Plastic Pollution Awareness Day where everybody, all the different crews, take action in their own communities around plastic pollution. And obviously, again, that'll look different if you're someone who's on the sea. Maybe it's a beach cleanup. If you live near a landfill that spills over into your community, then it's trash pickups. Maybe it's an educational event. It could be so many different things, but you have to think about what works for your community. So that's February 15th. And then another thing that we're working on here in Boulder that we're planning specifically around climate is there's a court case that was put forward by Our Children's Trust, the same organization that put forward the Youth versus Government lawsuit. If anyone's heard of that, if anyone hasn't heard of that, just let me know and I can do a little bit of backup. But if not, I'll just continue. Okay, looks like everyone has heard of that lawsuit. So what a lot of people don't know is there are also lawsuits in a bunch of different states all over the United States. There's also a couple international lawsuits, but they put forth one in Colorado, and Scott and other youth plaintiffs, I think there's about 6 or 7, are about to go to court and have a hearing. This is I'm not sure, they put this court case forward and then it got dismissed, and then they reapplied and went through the whole system, and now they're having another hearing. So we're trying to build a lot of momentum around this because this is huge. This court case is specifically about fracking. It's specifically about how it affects our health and safety. And as we all know, fracking is really bad for our climate, among pretty much everything else. But we're going to organize a huge march on the 20th, which is President's Day. And then the 21st is the court hearing. So we're still in the development of that, but I just wanted to let you all know what Earth Guardians Boulder is doing so that you can kind of start thinking, would we want to do a solidarity action? Would we want to organize something similar in our community? Later, I'll be talking a little bit more about climate recovery ordinances, which is something that it's like suing your government, except not really suing your government. It's using science-based findings to come up with a climate recovery plan for your community, and we'll talk a little bit about that more later.
Is this case in Colorado?
Yep, the march will be in Colorado. We might encourage other crews to do solidarity actions, just because this is a really big court case, and if we can get this going and get a lot of awareness about this, similar things can move forward in other states that are dealing with heavy fracking as well. And we definitely need the support of our friends and family globally. So there'll be more coming out about that as we develop it. We're still in the planning phases of that. And also, I just want to mention as well for the Protect Our Climate, one of the things we've had a lot of people do in the past is have film screenings. For the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter, so it's kind of a time for reflection, education, learning about these different things, educating your community about these things. That's really important. So we're going to be coming out with a list of options and different films that we can offer you, the people in our network, to host film screenings with. We're developing that right now, so once that's ready, I'll be sending out an email to all the crews, similar as I did about this crew call. And then as we move towards spring, we're going to be revamping a campaign that started last year called Soil for Life, which is an amazing campaign focused on soil carbon sequestration, so pulling carbon out of the atmosphere through creating healthy soil. And there's so many different ways you can do that. We'll also have tree planting campaigns, and I also just want to mention that right now Mensa is working on an incredible tree planting campaign.
She disappeared.
Sorry guys, my computer, we kind of have weird Wi-Fi in our office, so sometimes it just...
You're going?
Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay,
You're cutting in and out.
let's see if I put on these. Do you want to close your computer? We have like really bad Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're still cutting in and out.
Still cutting. I can call my phone in.
Actually, you sound better now.
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Maybe it was because Michaela opened her computer. It's so unreliable here sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, I was just saying that Mensa is working on a planting campaign, and it's probably one of our most ambitious campaigns any of our crews are working on. And within the next couple months, he wants to plant 10,000 trees in Togo. Is it just Togo, Mensa, or across Africa? Here, I unmuted you.
For this year, it will be just Togo.
Awesome. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
He's working on some incredible campaigns, and oh yeah. I want to pass it over to you. Sorry. And Sim joined us. Thanks for joining, Sim. Awesome. And she's working on a really cool campaign too. She's trying to fundraise to get a. She invented a battery that can run off of any sort of acid, whether it's like soda or acid whey. That's the byproduct of Greek yogurt. And yeah, it's really cool. I was pretty blown away by it. It actually produces more energy than a regular battery. And Sim, I would just love to invite you to say any words about that if you want. I can unmute you if you need it. Okay.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I couldn't hear her so well. I heard you talking about me, but I could barely make out what you were saying.
I was just saying that your project is really amazing, and I was just kind of giving them a little description of it. I just pretty much told them that you created a battery that produces more electricity than a normal battery, and it can run off of any type of acid. So I just wanted to see if you wanted to add anything.
No, I think you all pretty much said it all. I think so.
You should add
Oh God.
that Sorry, I'm at school and my cousins harass me.
Thanks for joining from school. That's awesome. Cool. So I'm going to pass it over to Michaela, and she's going to give you some more updates about what's happening. Oh my gosh. And we have Shateska Martinez in the house. Touch us. He's sick. So we're not going to invite him over here. Can you still hear us if we're unmuted? I mean, headphoned.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right, Michaela, take it away.
With the updates?
Yeah. I put.
Okay. Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Michaela. I'm really excited to be joining. I'm new to the Earth Guardians team, but it's really great to be on this call. And I just wanted to make a couple of announcements and invite people into that. So something really exciting that's happening is that we're launching an international youth council that will be comprised of leaders from around the world. And really what that's going to look like is ideally doing leadership development and the ability to have mentorship and trainings and be able to grow in different skills, activist and organizing skills. So I wanted to invite everybody who's on this call, we can send it out after the call as well, to fill out the application and apply, because who we want are the current leaders, and it's clearly everybody who made it on this call today. So yeah, I hope that y'all decide to apply. Also, just I guess an exciting update too is that we will be Earth Guardians will be launching a bank divestment kind of campaign called Days of Divestment that will be putting some more information about that basically is going to kind of be focusing on some key pipelines, and will be focused around having folks in different communities, if there's that bank in that community, taking action to withdraw and send a letter and stuff. So we'll send more info about that, but definitely be watching for it. And I just really appreciate all the work that everyone is doing that's on this call right now.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to mention with the Days of Divestment, it's centered around the U.S. All of the pipelines that we'll be focusing are within the U.S., but if you're international and want to support or do a solidarity action, there will definitely be ways to do that as well. But yeah, we have a really big problem in the U.S. where the banks are funding the pipelines, and they're all multi-billion projects, and because they're being funded by banks, big banks specifically, our country is having a really hard time switching to renewables, especially with the incoming Trump presidency. It's not really looking good as far as investing in a livable future for our country. So that's why we feel that this campaign needs to happen pretty much immediately. So the more global support we can get, the better, because it's definitely the climate, quote unquote, here is really dangerous at the moment. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about that. You have an it's the same council. RYSE. Okay. Cool. Also, there's a national council, RYSE Council. That's on the same application. It's the same application. You just need to indicate if you're applying for the national council, if you're in the U.S. or international. Michaela will be setting up, she'll be getting in touch with you if you applied and setting up days to talk more. And Mensa, I know that you applied, so Michaela is going to get in touch, and we are figuring out. We have some ideas on how you can get involved with it, because we definitely value you specifically as a leader in Earth Guardians. So I just wanted to mention that since you're on the call. Yeah, so I have 2 other updates.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Iris. Yeah, go.
Oh, I was just going to say something in response to the RYSE Youth Council. It's a really great opportunity not only to meet other young leaders and help support other young leaders doing amazing stuff, but it's also a great opportunity to really learn and gain in knowledge and in training and just in experience. So it's a great place that is very supportive of the work you're doing, and Aiden and Michaela are great. So I really recommend that all of you guys apply, and it's a wonderful way to get involved.
Thanks, Iris. Yeah, and actually based on that, I want to mention that I started out on the RYSE Youth Council in 2000. I got on in 2014, but it really launched in 2015. So that was the first way I engaged with Earth Guardians. And then because of that program and because I started my own crew, I was able to build my skills to the point where I was able to become a staff member for Earth Guardians. So it's definitely possible to build up. I remember at the first RYSE training, I met the staff members. I was like, they're not that much older than me. And then I said to Iris, actually, I was like, someday I'm going to move to Colorado and work for Earth Guardians.
That was 3 years ago.
I know, and now I'm here. I live in Colorado and I work for Earth Guardians. So it's definitely possible to make your dreams happen. That's my point. And RYSE is a good tool for that. Yeah, and then on a crew note, we have some...
Can I say goodbye?
Oh, yep. Yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, and just quickly, I posted a link to my initiative. I invite you to look at it. It ties in totally with your Soils for Life.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that, and then I'll look at the group in Brazil and see if we might somehow work together down there.
That's awesome. Thank you. I see the link, and we'll definitely check it out.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Well, we'll do. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye. So for our cruise, we have been working on some really exciting partnerships, getting different, I feel like the 2 main partnerships have a duality to them. We're working with, has anyone heard of the book called Pacha's Pajamas? Maybe? No? Okay. Well, there's this great book called Pacha's Pajamas. It's primarily for kids who are 7 to 12. But it's all about this girl, Pacha, who realizes that there's this terrible crisis happening in her world, and then she has these magic pajamas that in her dreams transport her to this other world where she gets to take place in this council of all the animals coming together and figuring out how they're going to address the problem. And there's all these great biomimicry tips and tools and different aspects that help people, young kids, think about these things in a constructive way. And they have a curriculum. So we're partnering with Pacha's Pajamas to bring that curriculum to our school groups who are, this curriculum goes up to the 8th grade. So that's around 14 years old. But then, so we're partnering on that, and that's for younger kids, right? If you know any younger kids or want to get involved in your school, have your classroom take it on, if you're within the age of 7 to 14, then definitely reach out. There'll be more information on our website soon. But it's a really awesome curriculum, and we're excited to offer it to our crews. And then
as you get older, or if you're already older, we have this other partnership we're working on with our Children's Trust, who are the people who are doing the lawsuits. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the climate recovery ordinances, and that's part of a campaign that they launched called You Can Youth Climate Action Now. And they're allowing our crews to start climate recovery ordinances that are science-based in their communities. So we have a whole manual. Actually, our next crew call is likely to be focused on how to set up a climate recovery ordinance in your community. Right now, we're only set up to offer this nationally, but we're going to just be developing it further to be able to offer it to international crews, because I feel that every community needs a climate recovery ordinance. Every community is going to be affected by climate change. So we have crews that are all over the world, and it would be amazing if we could have that ability. And thanks, Sim, so much for joining us while you're at school. I hope you have a good class, and see you later.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, so that's the climate recovery ordinance, and basically that's all science-based. If you want to start one of those, be sure to be on our next crew call, which will be happening next month, and we'll have a rep from our Children's Trust named Coriel, who's really great. He's going to be working with us on this to help integrate our crews into this process. And I can send the link. I can post it in the chat if anybody's interested. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we have, our main things that we have happening right now, and within the next couple months. So yeah, I just want to open it up to you guys, see what you're looking forward to in 2017. What are your hopes? And yeah, so yeah, give me what you're thinking of. What are you wanting to get out of this year? Does anyone have any thoughts? Any hopes?
Are there still people on the call? How
Yeah.
many people are still on the call?
We have myself, Michaela, Callan, Mensa, and you, Iris.
Oh. Well, I can go if you want.
That would be great.
But
Go
so
for it.
you said, what are we looking to get out of this year, right? Because you broke up a little bit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am really looking forward to doing some more projects with the crew that I lead, because last semester we started last semester, and we finally, by the end of the semester, had like a really good group of youth who were showing up every week and wanting to do stuff. So now starting out this semester, we're starting out with kind of the road already paved a little bit. And so we're talking about like what actions we want to take, or do we want to get involved in divestment, see about our school, like where our school's money is, and then personally, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this year as a year that a lot of things might change. And just seeing that happen, just because of what the presidency and all of the stuff that has happened in the past year, I'm looking forward to seeing how many people step up and do take action, because I think it has brought a bigger awareness to some people who were just living their lives, but now with Trump as president, they're like, oh wait, it takes everyone. And we can't just avoid doing anything. So I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be scary at times. It's going to be really saddening. That's where we're at, but I also think it's going to be a shifting point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that this year, and I'm looking forward to a new year of just working with a lot of young leaders that I've been meeting recently, and I think it's going to be a good year.
Thanks, Iris. Yeah, I agree. As I was saying earlier, this is something that has gotten America out of our comfort zone. We've been in a comfort zone for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much all of Obama, like, people were organizing. Those who organize are still going to organize, but this is awakening a whole nother population who hasn't typically been the people to go to the streets, and that is so needed. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. Anyone else have any hopes or aspirations that they would like to share with us for this upcoming year?
Well, I'm just looking forward to mostly the People's Climate March in DC this April. I'm trying to get other kids to go to it. So far, I haven't gotten many, but we'll see. I'm also looking forward to the Women's March this weekend. That's much it.
Yeah. See, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, those marches are going to be huge. I think the Women's March in DC specifically, although it's amazing that now there are women's marches happening all over the world, I think, right? And Kristen, our other team member, is here. Anyway. Sorry. He's really cool. Say hi, Kristen. We're on a crew call.
Nice. Hey, everyone.
He's cool. Anyway, yeah, so there are women's marches happening all over the world, but the one in DC is supposed to draw thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people. And that's powerful. That's definitely going to shake some bones, especially since it's happening right after the inauguration. That week in DC is going to be nuts. Yeah. And actually, Callan, we're trying to get involved in the climate march. So we're going to be trying to organize youth to go to the climate march. So we'll definitely keep you tied into that conversation and let you know what we're doing.
Well, I actually contacted your youth coordinator. I never got a response to that about that, but I have a Facebook page that I set up to try and get other kids, but it's pretty small so far.
Do you want to email us or post in the chat the link to the Facebook page? We could post it on our page and help get it out. And yeah, if you ever don't get a response from someone on our team, it is definitely not personal. We're just like so small right now trying to keep up with everything. So if you don't get a response, just don't ever hesitate to bump it back up, resend it, be like, hey, I sent this, like, never got a response. Because we do want to support you, but sometimes emails fall through the cracks. Especially if you reach out to us on Facebook. We don't have anyone managing the messages right now, so
yeah,
that takes a while.
I heard the part about the emailing. I didn't hear anything else.
Okay. What I said was that if you want to resend your message to either Michaela or I, definitely do that. We'll be on the lookout for it. And also that, just sorry that we might have not gotten back to you. Sometimes we have it's just a really hard time, like, keeping track of everything. Hi, Russell. Yeah, so, oh, and Facebook, send the link of your Facebook page and we'll be able to post that on our page, help get more likes, raise more awareness, that sort of stuff. Oh. Yeah, okay, so we're getting near the end of our call. Another team member, Russell, just came in, causing a whole disturbance over here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We love you, Russell. Do you want to come say hi?
Hello.
Hi, Russell. It's Iris.
Oh, hey, Iris. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Good to hear your voice. You're trying to have a birthday soon, right?
Yesterday.
Happy
It
birthday.
was yesterday.
It was 17th of 2017.
Wonderful. Cool. I hope you're having a wonderful birthday time period. Had a wonderful birthday yesterday.
Thanks.
Awesome. So, yeah, we're getting near the end of our call, and I just wanted to open it up for any questions or comments you have. And yeah, Michaela and I are here to answer anything, or if you want to just say something, that's good too. So we'll just open it up. Let me know if you have a question or comment. And if no one has a comment or question, we can end our call a little bit early. That's totally fine. But yeah, anything anyone wants to say or any questions that you might have, feel free to speak now. Do you have anything else you want to add, Michaela?
I mean, I just really appreciate everyone for making time to make it to the call today. And I think, yeah, feel free to reach out to Eden and myself if you want support moving things, even talking, one-on-one about how to, recruit or recruitment tips or like meeting facilitation, things like that. Like, I think it's great to continue to grow in those skills. And so, yeah, if you feel like you need support, feel free to reach out to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, so last call. Any questions, comments, anything you want to say? Now would be the time. But yeah, I'll just echo what Michaela said. We're really looking forward to this upcoming year with Earth Guardians. I think a lot of exciting and impactful things will be happening throughout our global network, whether it's coming from Togo or coming from here in Boulder. There's definitely going to be some change making happening. And I'm just excited, and I'm excited that we get to do it with all of you. And yeah, thanks so much for joining the call. We're going to have another one this afternoon, which might be the middle of the night for some of you and not the middle of the night for others. But feel free to join if you want. It'll be happening at 4:30 MST, which is Mountain Standard Time. And then we'll be having another call next month, like I mentioned, with Coriel from UCAN. We haven't determined the exact date, but it'll likely be in the middle of the month sometime. And yeah, so stay tuned for that information. It'll be an email like the one that I sent out about this call, and it'll also take place on Zoom. And I like Zoom because it's allowed Mensa to join us, and that's never happened before on crew calls. So this is really exciting. Yeah, so just thanks all for coming. I hope everybody has a great day or evening, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever time it is. I hope it's a good time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Yep, bye. And yeah, if you want to get in touch later, just email me, aiden@earthguardians.org, and then Michaela@earthguardians.org as well. Oh, and also our website is kind of offline for the moment. So if you go to our website and you're wondering why it's not there, it'll be there soon. So thank you all so much. Bye.
Good.